Yo guys, Yume here with a video on how to properly support your team as a rogue. For watching this video, you should have learned that a rogue's role in Arena is currently support, and that by properly supporting your other DPS, you're going to win a lot more games. Before I started, I wanted to say that this is actually a rather advanced topic. I will be going into the detail of rogue strategy and planning in Arena, and it's not really something that a new player is going to end up having a good time digesting. So if you're fine with that, then without further ado, I'll get into the meat of this topic. Okay, there's only going to be one major point in this video, so there's not going to be multiple parts. And what we're really going to be talking about in this video is that rogues are a support class. Now that might come as a surprise to some of you, but the reality is that rogues do not deal real consistent damage right now. And by assuming a support role, you can actually make sure that your kill attempts are properly arranged. One major problem with rogues right now is that they have no sustain, but they do have burst. So with that in mind, the best possible way of playing a rogue is actually to line up your burst with your teammate. Now you might think, well duh, of course you line up burst with your teammates. But when I say that, I don't just mean you use your cooldowns when your teammates use their cooldowns. When I say line up, I actually mean you want to redirect kidney shot one person, trap another DPS, and then garrote the third DPS, and then use all your cooldowns. And what this creates is a 3-on-1 situation that pretty much is unbeatable. It's actually what rogues do best. Now that I've told you some of the examples of rogue support, I'm going to tell you why rogues are so good at being a support. The first of which is actually a talent called Prey on the Weak. Prey on the Weak increases your damage dealt by 10%, which is pretty good, but it's not just your damage, it's your entire team's damage. All sources, when they're stunned during a cheap shot or a kidney shot, they take 10% more damage. It's quite a bit of damage when you're counting from you and your other DPS, but more importantly, when you combine this with Tricks of the Trade and Master Poisoner, you're actually helping your other DPS deal 30% more damage. 30% is a pretty significant number. So because of this 30% increased damage from another DPS, it's actually the major selling point that rogues have right now, and as such, you really want to be playing with another class that can capitalize on this. Some examples of this are Shadow Priests, Mages, Hunters, and Ele Shaman. All of these classes do a significant amount of damage without rogue help, but when you combine those classes with rogue support, you actually have a really good team comp. So if you're looking to play something and you really want to set up some good actual switches and get some 100% kills with triple CC 3-on-1 action, I would recommend playing with one of those classes. Now I'm going to show you some examples of properly supporting your team. So you'll see here I have Tricks in my Hunter, and I have a full cheap shot on this mage. And out of this, I'm going to go and control this Feral Druid to make sure that he can't pressure my Hunter, and we can cross CC the Priest with this. By controlling this Feral, it actually opens up my Hunter to CCing the Priest because the Feral can no longer eat traps. You'll see actually how powerful this is, because right now I'm going to Vanish sap him, and then if you look at the screen, we have the Mage garroted, we have the Feral Druid sapped, and the Priest is silencing shot. Their entire team is CC'd. There's just no way they have any chance of living. They're just 100% dead. This is just a great example of what you can do as a rogue to help support your team. And none of this would be possible if I didn't line everything up for us. And you'll even notice that they have a poly on my Shaman, but it's completely irrelevant because their whole team is controlled. So the more control and setup you put out for your team, the more it'll pay off. Here's another example of setting up CC for my team to play off of. You see me come out of the sphere, cheap shot the Feral, garrote the Mage, then dance cheap shot the Priest so my Hunter can land a trap. In turn, this forces both the Trinket and Life Swap from the Priest. Now you'll see we do this in 20 seconds, the exact same thing, and we immediately win. This is the power of properly controlling and supporting your team as a rogue. Here's the fight 20 seconds later, after we've already gotten their Life Swap and Trinket. One last thing about rogue control and support is that I wanted to go over the talent Nerve Strike. This talent is absolutely amazing for allowing your team to maintain momentum and control in a game. It's the perfect talent for peeling. One simple cheap shot on another target, and you've essentially put them out of commission for 11 seconds. You have 5 seconds of cheap shot into 6